Hi everybody, and welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and part 12 of the Tamiya Sdkfz 250/3 Greif buddy build with Jim at Shutter Race. So part 11 I left off. Again, I'm not going to let you see it up close or anything. Got the vehicle done. So the next part is to do a base. So keep in mind that I've done one base. I shouldn't say I've never done a base, but I've did one base in 1980 something, and it was horrible. And I haven't done one since. Started a few, but never completed them. So here's my plan. So I went to Hobby Lobby, and I got a 2-pack of these wooden plaques. It was like $6 for 2 of them. They're pre-cut, slightly warped, as you can see. At least this one is. But just about the right size for what I want to do, because I basically just want to have the vehicle sitting on there and ready to roll. What I did was, with the better base, better of the 2 bases, I taped off an edge where I don't want my groundwork to be. Now, if this turns out okay and I decide I want to do these in the future, which I think it will, I would stain this and coat it with a clear first, just to make the raw edges look better. But since this is kind of an experiment, I don't want to wait for the stain to dry and all that kind of stuff. I want to get this rolling. So I taped it off, ready to go. I set the vehicle on here at the angle I want, and I marked where the front wheels are and where the back tracks are, so I kind of have an idea, because my idea is this, kind of a somewhat of a roadway kind of thing going here with rougher materials along the edges. So that's the plan anyway. So the first of my components is this stuff right here, and this is just some dirt and rocks that I got from a flower bed, and I'll have to pick out these bigger ones because I think those are more concrete than just rocks, and I don't want artificial stuff in there. But what I'm going to do is I am just going to glue this stuff to the surface with PVA glue. It's going to be that simple. I'll get my glue down on the wood and start sprinkling this mess on there. I'll put a big piece of paper or tray or something underneath it to keep it from, you know, getting all out of whack and out of control and everything. But that's the plan. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Okay, so what I'm doing here first is I'm kind of sifting the finer stuff out in this little sifter thing, and I'm going to use this stuff on the outer edges, because I want this in the middle, so it'll be easier to kind of get my tracks planted where they need to be. So we got that. So then I'll get the base over here. So for gluing this stuff down, I'm just using the good old Elmer School glue. PVA glue, whatever you want to call it. And may have to unscrew this lid like this because I haven't used it in a while and it may be clogged. But this stuff is awesome. It's been around forever and does wonders. May have to add more, but we'll see. I know there's all kinds of really spiffy and high-tech glues and adhesives and ground covering material, but as I say, I'm just getting into this. And if you've seen the video I did a few weeks back, you'll know that I am trying to reduce the clutter in my modeling life, for no other reason than if I don't need it, I don't need it. So why have it? Okay, there's that. So let's wipe my finger off so I don't get dirt stuck to my finger. And then we'll carefully just start sprinkling this stuff on here, and hopefully I got enough dirt to cover it all. Now, this is like not very deserty looking stuff, but it's going to get painted and weathered just like anything else. Now I realize, and some of you are probably thinking, oh, you're going to have a real hard time making that model look like it's actually sitting in dirt and blah blah blah, and I agree, but again, this is mainly an experiment in making a base, so it's not going to be the best when it comes to that. Okay, so we'll let that sit for a few minutes. All right, so here it is so far. So what I did after I got all the sand glued down with the PVA glue, I set the model on there and kind of marked where the wheels and tracks would be, and then just dug them out with a small screwdriver so it would rest more naturally into the surface as opposed to sitting on top of it, because that would have looked really horrible. It would have been really fake looking. So that's that part. So now the next thing I need to do after I clean all this debris off my desk is I need to do a little bit of paint work on it. All right, so to paint this, I'm using Tamiya Sdkfz buff. I've got it thinned, and I'm just basically going to shoot some paint all over it. I want to tone down the difference. I want to get it a little closer to the color of the vehicle, the dust on the vehicle, and right out of the ground this stuff doesn't match. So that is why I'm doing it. So I'm going to try forgot this is one of those jars that I pre-thinned back in the day, and it doesn't need to be thin like that. So it's really just kind of toning down color of it, you know, just the natural dirt. I'm going to focus mainly along the edges, on the outside edges, because underneath it doesn't matter if it's a little bit darker. We'll just be kind of shaded a bit. Yeah, it's looking better. Alright, so let me clean this airbrush out. Well, next, I'm going to hit it with some XF55 Deck Tan, which is a bit lighter. Kind of lighten it up a little bit, because my other color, this color here, is still a little too brown for what I want. I'm going to focus mainly on the parts that aren't going to be covered by the vehicle. Now, I am using a totally, I'm sure, just ridiculous way of handling this ground cover, but you know, this is not my forte. And I just want to make a base. For the future, probably going to do a bit of studying to make sure I get something that, you know, looks a little better. Okay, that matches the color a little bit better. So I think that'll work. That looks really monotone right now, but I think once I add a bit of wash to it, it'll help. If not, then I'm sunk. Okay, so clean the airbrush again. All right, so after that, still look kind of flat, so I decided to use my sand colored Ultimate Modeling Products clay wash. You kind of just do it like a light dry brushing. Again, totally unorthodox, I'm sure, but I do like the way that it's highlighting the bigger stones and stuff. Gives a little bit more depth. Again, not perfect by a long shot. You know, first admit I don't have a clue what I'm doing when it comes to bases, but I'm kind of digging it. Very simple, but yet, I don't know, first attempt, or technically second, but first one count because it was so long ago and the galaxy's so far away. It's working. I'm sure there's all kinds of things I could do different, and you know, I'm open for suggestions, some places to go for check out, get some pointers, but yeah, it'll work. So next thing I want to get is a little bit of vegetation going on here. I'm just using a really super cheap pure bristle brush. I'm just chopping some of this off like this with some shizers. Using my good old PVA glue. Stick a little dab on there like that. And then just sticking it on the base like that. Kind of spread it out a little bit to where it's not quite so clumped up. And then once it dries, once PVA glue dries, I'll take out any parts that are maybe laying over or loose. And voila, I have some North African weeds growing like that. That's all I'm going to do. That's it. This is a real deserty environment. So then I'll carefully peel my tape off, thusly. Hopefully, I'll have to go back and get some of those parts that are stuck. And see, it would look a lot better if it was stained or something like that. But like I said, I'm not, kind of taking it easy here and getting my feet wet, so to speak. Just peeling it off like that. This dirt on my desk is going to drive me insane. So as soon as I turn this video off, I'm getting the vacuum out because I don't like a dirty desk. All right, so there's the base. So I think that will conclude this video, part 12 of the Tamiya 250/3 Sdkfz 250/3 Greif build, buddy build with Jim Deck at Shutter Ace. So the next time I come back, I'll have the vehicle on here and we'll do a final reveal. So until next time, thanks for watching. If you have any hints and tips, and please, I hope you do, for doing bases and stuff, and point me in the right direction as to where I can learn how to do this stuff better, you know, your recommendations. I mean, I can find stuff via Google, but you know, I like to hear people's recommendations. But anyway, that's what we got. So thanks for watching Plastic Models by a Regular Dude. Till next time, we'll see you all later. Welcome back to Plastic Models by a Regular Dude and part 13 of the Tamiya Sdkfz 250/3 buddy build with Jim at Shutter Race. As you can see, here it is, all done. Now, if you don't want to hear me blab about it and see the whole thing like this, I will have a slideshow at the end so you can check it out. So, the kit, what do I think about it? Well, it was a very good kit. It's a kit that was built or molded in '79, and at least the version I have, and it went together really well. The biggest problem for me were the tracks. It was kind of tough getting them to be the right length, and I had some trouble with them coming apart as I tried to put them on the suspension due to very small contact points where the cement attaches them together. But other than that, it went together great. The detail's really decent. There's not too many parts. There is some molded on detail that would have been nice to have as, you know, separate details, such as this tarp here with those legs underneath, whatever that is. And same here. This is a separate part, but that down below, that's molded on. Also, this is all kind of molded as just very few pieces, with the framework being molded onto the cans. So, you know, a modern kit would probably come with all that separate, but I just used what was in the kit, and it worked fine. Some additions I made to the basic kit. I built it pretty much out of the box. I did enhance and add weld seams along here, along the front of where the vision slits are, the sides here, and then these three angles here on both sides. And that was per photographic evidence of these vehicles. As far as the figures go, you know, they are these stock figures from the '79 kit, and although somewhat soft in some respects as far as detail, they're actually really good. I mean, there's some stuff you could do to enhance them probably, but just right out of the box, they're not bad. They have a decent amount of detail. The faces have enough features to be able to actually paint them. One other thing I did change was Rommel's goggles there. You can see, oh, hopefully you can see, they are clear. Let's see if I can zoom in on them. They are clear as opposed to being the yellow plastic like the rest of the kit, solid, that you're supposed to paint white. So I just scratch built those, but pretty much everything else is right out of the kit. These tarps and stuff like that, those are all out of the kit. Now this I did modify a bit. It comes with molded on straps that aren't even closed on the end, so I cut them off and made my own out of just out of Tamiya tape. So anyway, overall it was a really fun kit. It was fun building alongside of Jim at Shutter Race, and I'll have a link to his channel so you can check out, you know, how his ended up. But it was a fun kit. I would build another one. I probably wouldn't do the Greif because since I built one, but I would build another one, probably in just regular gray, continental markings, you know, as it would be in Poland or, you know, somewhere in Europe. The base itself, I did a short video on that. but it's just a real simple base. I bought it at a local hobby retailer, hobby and craft store retailer, Hobby Lobby. I say local; it's a chain in the U.S. And just super simple. Just got some dirt out of a flower bed here around the property where I live, and put some glue down, sprinkled it on there. Did some washes, some paint, and then highlighted it with the same clay wash that I used to do the weathering on the vehicle. The weeds here, I just used a China bristle brush, cut the tips off of some of it, and glued it on with some regular old white PVA glue, Elmer's brand in this case, very popular brand here in the States. And I just glued them on just to add a little bit of vegetation. I kept the base really simple. This is actually the first base I've built since the 80s, and this one turned out much better than that one did. So anyway, that's it. The inside is all detailed. I did it doesn't show on the instructions, but it does come with on the sprues, helmets. There's some canteens inside, stuff like that. So anyway, that is it. That is the Greif. It was a very fun kit. I really enjoyed building this along with Jim. We communicated from time to time on how we were doing things and how we were handling certain situations, and it was a lot of fun. So hope you enjoyed following along on this series, and stay tuned for more stuff on the channel here. As I said, there will be a slideshow following the video portion. I'll try and mark it in the actual comments, so if you want to skip to it, you can. But anyways, that's it. That is the Greif Tamiya 1/35 scale 250/3. So as always, if you have any hints, tips, comments, any of that kind of stuff, put them in the comments section down below. Thanks for joining me here on Plastic Models by a Regular Dude, and I will see you all later.